it's just cool. Like, I never would have guessed this type of stuff actually from Xbox. And I think, too, there's a lot of people out there that don't see everything that they're doing. This is why I'm wanting to make this video. And again, this still is not everything that they're doing. And we're still going to be getting updates as we go forward through the rest of the year. And they're doing all of this in preparation for Project Helix because they want to sell consoles. Hey folks, welcome back to Gaming Garbage. Today we're going to go over Xbox's reset and so far and how it's going. And yeah, I would honestly say it's going great. We're going to go over quite a few features. We're going to go over some of the little stuff first, and then we're going to move into some of the programs and some of the stuff that we know is coming through the Insider program and just some of the changes that they've made. And I can't even cover them all. I'm pretty sure I'm still missing some, but this is the best compilation that I can actually make, at least as of right now with what we know. So far with what we have increasing gamer tag length, friend visibility, cloud play during updating the game itself, network issue indicator, which is so nice because sometimes you can't tell until it's too late, customization upgrades, which is wonderful, game display style, wish list expansion, now up to 1,000 games. They're also adding achievements for 360 games, which is good. Patch note widgets, it's accessibility improvements, custom color personalization, up to 10 home groups with your dashboard. Per game quick resume control. It's not just standard anymore. You can actually tweak that. Play history tab, streaming quality tools, so you can set some of the quality that you want for your own specific needs. Gamepad cursor library unification across devices. Also, first major achievement overhaul in 20 years. There's also voice chat in-game capture, which they just had. Achievement sorting, cloud save, restore, and then wish list capacity. Also on the PC, mobile, and handheld side, there's also the Xbox mode for Windows 11. There's the Xbox Game Bar. And then there's also the ROG Xbox Ally Compatibility Program, and then also Xbox Accessory app. That is quite the long list that we've had already so far. And Asha Sharma did said that basically they're focusing on a reset and wanting to bring back actually what Xbox is. But it's not just bringing it back. It's also further expansion than what Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond have already done. When we also take a look at backwards compatibility, this is not just on console, but also on PC, and we're starting with 4 games. And these games, too, are also insured actually on the Xbox Store. So you can buy these if you wish, and then the games will basically go with you wherever you are. They're also a part of Play Anywhere, and they're also outside of Game Pass if you wish. So yeah, you can basically engage with these any way that you wish. And I would even like to say too that Crimson Skies is also pretty cool because you can still have the physical disc and still play the game on your Series X, which is awesome. They're also trying to expand what Xbox is even capable of. So again, the backwards compatibility, which yeah, this is also expanding or extending your original Xbox and also 360 catalog to next gen Xbox devices, which would be Helix, Xbox PCs, and handhelds, basically anything with Windows 11, and that's basically what Helix is going to be. So yeah, they have a Microsoft-built emulator running locally on PC. Titles appear as standard Xbox PC games on the same account and also with the same cloud saves. Microsoft manages all of the engineering, with the emulator, title-to-title certification and testing, storefront merchandising, and player support. You keep the rights, pricing, and brand control. And original Xbox titles ship first, and then, yeah, we're looking at probably also 360. That's currently rumored right now. Also taking a look at the disc-to-digital program. This is Project Proton, and yeah, this is basically keeping actual ownership and getting digital rights. So to a degree, it's still not perfect. I'm not trying to oversell this, but basically you have your Xbox One and Series X discs that you can put into your Xbox One or Series X into the optical drive, and you get the digital license that is granted to you, but the license is actually bound to the disc and the player's account. And the game then follows the player on any Xbox device after that, including devices with no disk drive. So again, this is really trying to maximize, bring backwards compatibility and play anywhere in the cloud saves, and basically wherever your profile is, it's going to go with you on whatever hardware you have. that is the ultimate goal. And two, this is also for pretty much every single game they can possibly get into this type of program. If the disc changes hands, the license transfers to a new player on the next play, and prior entitlement for digitization is revoked. There's no duplication or abuse, which is wonderful because, yeah, that actually maintains the ownership of the disc. It's not destroying anything. And this was actually originally introduced with Xbox One, but again, it wasn't accepted very well, so they got rid of it. But yeah, they're bringing it back, and this looks wonderful with what PlayStation is doing. There's also a focus too with publishers, so they're able to expand their reach for PC and handheld players who never owned original hardware. They're also reactivating dormant SKUs to become live and purchasable again. Franchise tie-ins, goodwill branding, basically honoring the legacy of the library. And yeah, it's not a workaround. They're actually trying to partner with the storefronts, which is great. And then a modern ecosystem, with Play Anywhere, having classics that behave like modern games all the way back to 2006 from the start of it all. And then, yeah, there's zero engineering. Microsoft basically deals with everything. Xbox has also added more badges. This is some kind of like personalization, which is cool. And again, this is just kind of a nod to the actual player base so that we can have some recognition because, yeah, we haven't had any good recognition for quite a while. Also, while there is Game Pass, multiple tiers, there's Essentials, Premium, and Ultimate. Well, there is now a free Game Pass called GamePass Flex, and this is replacing loading screens with ads, basically. And so at the start of your session, the testing right now is that you'll be able to look at some ads. You'll be able to have an hour of uninterrupted play for that session. And again, the testing is just for limited games right now, but they'll eventually roll this out for basically its own specific tier of games. And I imagine it'll be somewhere kind of between essential and premium, but then the ads are basically what's going to support the program. And we already have this anyway, because we have this with YouTube or like with Netflix or Prime TV or whatever. And while I don't necessarily want more ads in my life, it is an option for those that want a free version. So if there's games you want to try, if the program itself you want to test, you're able to do that now with a Game Pass Flex when they actually roll this out. Here too are some of the kind of more behind the scenes upgrades and updates that they have. And basically, we're having updates every 2 weeks for probably like the rest of the year, which is kind of wild. Asha Sharma talked about this, I think, back in February or March. I can't exactly remember when, but yeah, we've been having these small updates. So they're not all like absolutely amazing, but we got, new boot up animation and logo for like rebranding. There's also, again, the profile badges. There's the tiered gamer score badges, which is really cool. I'm really close to 75. There's also the accessory app and controller improvements. And this also, too, is for Xbox Elite Series 2. And the 3, I think we're actually going to get pretty soon. Also, they have something called Drift Guard, which is software designed to help address stick drift issues on nearly any Xbox controller, offering a software-based approach to a hardware problem that has affected controllers across multiple generations. Now, this is something that they're working on building on. Now, we already have like dead zones in games, but you got to do that for every single game. You got to adjust those. And also your, stick drift can get worse. Well, this is supposed to be specific, as far as I understand it, to the controller itself. So it'll remember for the controller for every single game that you play. Also, again, we're having that status indicator, which is very, very nice. Also, they just added the ability to see what your Microsoft rewards are and actually how many points you have, which is really cool. And yeah, they've kept their rewards program. So you can earn points for basically use as credit toward purchases on pretty much anything, whether that's accessories, Game Pass, some other service, or actually buying the games themselves digitally. There's also cloud streaming and cloud gaming and cloud streaming quality updates that they have. And again, they've added some extra menus here to make some adjustments. And this is also on console as well. This is not just PC. There's also looking at PC updates, so manually adding games or apps to your Xbox library, pinning your favorite games, gamepad cursor, and reposition notification of the game bar, which is actually nice. So you can customize that UI the way that you want. There's also the Xbox mobile app, which has gained wish list alerts for your actual wish list that you want. And again, you'll be able to expand that to 1,000 wish lists. I don't even have 100. I can't imagine 1,000. Also, handhelds are also getting an update, and I imagine too this is also going to be coming across the board also for the next gen console, Project Helix. But right now, ROG Xbox Ally and similar Windows-based handhelds, again, Windows-based is going to be what Helix is, but yeah, their own version of upscaling, which is called Auto SR, and it's entering preview for Xbox insiders. Auto SRs is an upscaling technology designed to improve visual quality on handheld displays without requiring extensive per-game configuration, aimed at making games looking sharper and smaller, lower resolution handheld screens. And again, I don't think this is just going to be necessarily handhelds. This is probably going to be everything because we look at how AutoSR actually does it, and we're not completely breaking down the entire image and rebuilding it like every upscaler today, whether it's NVIDIA or AMD or what the Switch 2 has or whatever, or even PSSR. This is actually keeping the image in its entirety and just dealing with the image post, which is nice. And so we'll have to see exactly what that looks like. I am very curious. But it should be a lot faster and sharper for an image higher quality. There's also a handheld compatibility program that they're having, and then there's also Xbox mode for Windows 11, and then versus the Xbox Game Bar. So, yeah, they're trying to simplify things. They're trying to add things, and yeah, this is the whole player experience. Something else I wanted to add too. I think I accidentally closed the tab, but they're working on getting users' data back and their libraries. And this is not just an Xbox problem. This is also Microsoft accounts and like OneDrive and all of this other stuff. But while we had a Brazilian law, force Microsoft to basically get someone's account back, well, they decided to work on getting other people's accounts back. And I've actually seen some of these on Twitter X, where they're thankful and they're starting to get their accounts back with stuff that they've lost, whether it's pictures on OneDrive or whether it's games on GamePass or Xbox or whatever else. And it's just really cool to actually see that because, again, they're trying to build the trust back from the player base because, let's be honest, Xbox has lost a ton. And the fact that they're trying to do all of these things, and all of these none of these things are amazing by themselves, but when you see all of these changes with what they're doing, it gives trust back to the company and the brand, and they're also being player focused, which makes sense for any business because without the customers, the business is dead. And it's just cool. Like I never would have guessed this type of stuff actually from Xbox. And I think too, there's a lot of people out there that don't see everything that they're doing. This is why I'm wanting to make this video. And again, this still is not everything that they're doing, and we're still going to be getting updates as we go forward through the rest of the year. And they're doing all of this in preparation for Project Helix because they want to sell consoles. It will be expensive, but I'll cover the Helix when we actually have actual information. And yeah, that video will be coming probably later this year at the end or next year into 2027. We'll have to see. I still think those consoles are coming out in 2028. But anyway, that information is coming. So if you enjoyed the video, like, sub, all that jazz. Also share, help the algorithm with this video and help others to see it. But yeah, we don't really have a video compiling all of this data together. So yeah, I wanted to make this because I'm personally am very excited about what's going on. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.